Today's video can be found in your Unit 1B packet on page 11. And again, it starts with the problem of the day. I would like you to answer. Good practice of clearing that rational. Answer question number 9. And I do want you, to the best of your ability, maybe a little tough, but I want you to spend 15-20 minutes, if that's what it takes. Give it a good shot. Get something on your paper. I need to see some work. You may not get this. Give it your best shot. Try to solve this algebraically. Question number 22 here. Give it a good shot. Put some time into it. So pause the video and work on that page. Now I would like you to read carefully. Read carefully this page. This example is all explained out for you. And it's talking about graphing linear equations using x and y intercepts. So they're starting with number 1 here, then number 2, then it goes up here to number 3. So you can see they're filling it in a little bit more each time. Then it's number 4. Follow carefully. Read this carefully. Read carefully. Number 5. So read this entire page. You can find more information about the y-intercept, and I'll keep talking about it as well in this video, in your 8th grade text. So you should probably make this note here on page 147, and the x-intercept on page 148. There's a really good explanation and a great model on page 148 of this. In the textbook, go online, MB Math 2. You'll see it. Take some time, read it once or twice, pause the video, read this page. Now I'm on page 13. Graph x minus y equals 3 by finding the intercepts. So I'm going to find where this line intersects the x-axis, which this should have arrows on it, please put them on, and the y-axis. So there should be 4 arrows on that graph. You need to find where would this linear equation, x minus y equals 3, hit both the x-axis and the y-axis. So I'm going to do letter A first in this space here. First thing you have to do is solve for y in terms of x. So solve for y. X minus y equals 3. Well, I've got to subtract x from both sides. Negative y equals negative x plus 3. I wanted in that format the variable term first. You can never solve for a negative variable. That's a no-no. A no-no-no-no. So I'm going to divide everything by -1, or I could multiply the entire equation by -1. I could do this as well. Everything. So don't show both. So now I'm going to erase that with my little tiny eraser. I'm going to divide everything by -1, and I get positive y equals positive x minus 3. Now I have my equation solved in my y form, solve for y in terms of x. I create my table of values. I'm going to choose 3 x's. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to choose when x equals 0, right? When x equals 0, I'm somewhere on this line when x equals 0. That's the y-axis when x is 0. So I'm only going to choose 2 values here, 0 for x and 0 for y. Because when x equals 0, I'm on the y-axis. So if I put a 0 here, minus 3, I get -3. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that 0, -3. Oh, there it is, right on the y-axis. To get y equaling 0, when y equals 0, in fact, that's the equation of the x-axis, y equals 0. This line is called y equals 0. So when y is 0, 0 equals some x minus 3. Well, that x better be 3 because 3 minus 3 equals 3, right? So my x equals 3, 0 is right here. Then you're going to take a straight edge or a ruler, something that's straight, and you're going to connect those 2 points. So I'm going to use my line tool here, and I'm going to draw my line. I would like you to do that. Put arrows on both ends. And I'm going to label this line with the original given equation. Y equals, x minus y equals 3. The original given equation here. So that's how we graph a linear equation using x and y intercepts. So we're only getting those 2 points. The B version here is negative 3x plus 4y equals 12. I've got to solve that for y. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides first. For y equals positive 3x plus 12, I'm going to divide by 4 each term. And I get y equals 3/4 x plus 3. Now I'm going to create my table of 2 values. When x is 0, it's going to tell me my y-intercept. So when x is 0, so 3/4 times 0, well that's just 0, plus 3 would give me 3. My y-intercept is 0, 3. My x-intercept is when y is 0, so 0 equals 3/4 of what number plus 3? Well, I'm going to subtract 3. I have to solve this equation. Negative 3 equals 3/4 of x. Well, we don't divide by fractions. We keep it, change it, flip it. We're going to multiply by the multiplicative inverse on both sides. And everything cancels over here. And we get our x value would be, oh, those can cancel. Negative 1 times 4, negative 4. So we have 0, negative 4 as our x-intercept. Grab your ruler or straight edge. We're going to connect those points. Be careful that you're going through the points. Be accurate. Have a nice sharp pencil whenever you're graphing, a nice pencil, or using a very sharp pencil point or a mechanical pencil. Want to have a nice crisp line. So we write our original equation, which is negative 3x plus 4y equals 12. We've now graphed a linear equation using an x and a y intercept. Next page. Standard form of a linear equation written in the form ax plus by equals c. So some coefficient times x plus some coefficient times y equals a constant. It could be 3x plus 2y equals 18. That's standard form when x and y are both on the left. Write each in standard form. Well, in letter A, x and y are both on the left. But if I add 2 y's, right, we know how to do this. We're going to get x plus 2 y's equals 12. Standard form of a linear equation. 2x minus 12 equals 3y. Well, we got to swap those sides. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides and subtract 3 y's at the same time. So I'm getting the 12's off of the left, and I'm getting the 3 y's off of the right. So I have, and yes, 2x should come first. So 2x minus 3y equals positive 12. That's standard form. The x-intercept is the x-coordinate, the point where a line crosses the x-axis. Y is 0. The y-intercept, the y-coordinate point, is where a line crosses the y-axis, where x is 0. Find the x and the y intercept for A and B above. Well, my equation was x plus 2y equals 12. So when y equals 0, if I put a 0 here, 2 times 0 is 0, plus some number has to equal 12. Well, x must have to equal 12. So my ordered pair would be 12, 0. That's my intercept, 12, 0. The y-intercept is when x equals 0. So if I put a 0 here, I get 0 plus 2 times some number equals 12. Well, that some number must be 6, right? 2 times 6 is 12. So my y-intercept is 0, 6. Letter B was the equation 2x minus 3y equals 12. So again, my x-intercept is when y equals 0. 3 times 0, so negative 3 times 0 would just be 0. 2 times what number equals 12? Well, that's when x equals 6. So that's the ordered pair 6, 0. And the y-intercept is when x equals 0. And so I have negative, so 2 times 0 would give me 0. Negative 3 times what number would give me positive 12? Negative 3 times negative 4 would give me positive 12. Careful, careful. So y would have to equal negative 4, which would be the ordered pair 0, negative 4. Graph those equations. So my ordered pairs here, I'm going to label my x and y axis. And hopefully we're going to get 12, 0 on here. Oh, we are not. Well, unless I count by twos. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you can never graph off of graph paper. So I'm going to have to number my x-axis by twos. My pen's very thick, but that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So there it is. I'm numbering my x-axis in order to get that on there by twos. I don't have to number my y-axis by twos. I could or not. Maybe I will. 2, 4, 6. So 6, 0, 6 rather. 0, 6. My y-intercept is 0, 6. I take my line or straight edge, use a straight edge and a very sharp pencil to be accurate. Make sure you're going through those exact points. And then I write the original given equation. Well, I'm going to use the equation x plus 2y equals 12 because that was the original starting point. X plus 2y equals 12. Not from the very... We're going to start from the standard form equation. And you always label your lines and label your x and y axis. On the letter B, graphing it, we have the points 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 0, my x-intercept, and then my y-intercept is 0, negative 4. Again, straight edge ruler, very sharp pencil. Oh, that's off. Yuck. Get rid of that. Got to be accurate. If you go through a point that it's not supposed to go through, I'm going to mark it wrong. So you got to be accurate, very accurate when you're graphing. And the standard form equation of this was 2x minus 3y equals 12. 2x minus 3y equals 12. And that's it for today's video.